And I even remembered to turn the camera on. Look. Good evening, good evening. Let's see what the lag is that we're getting. Come on, YouTube. Oh my good God. Hell of a lag. Anyway, good evening. Baymondo. And anybody? Oh, there we go. Yep, we've got audio. So, budget day. Nothing more than we were expecting. Hello, why is that? Why is that not working there?
What's not working?
It's right. No, got it. Oh, there's me, you, and one other in here. Oh no, we're up to 5 now. Look, StreamYard lagging behind. But yeah, budget. Wow. Did Reeves disgrace herself? Well, from what I saw, they disgraced themselves before it even started, to be honest. I mean, for a start, you got the farce with the OBS, leaking it early. Only by minutes by the sounds of it, but does that really matter? I mean, Labour were leaking enough over the last couple of weeks, dropping hints. So basically, most people knew what was coming. But was it any good for us, normal people in this country? Not really. Not really. I mean, in fairness, she only mentioned this alleged black hole the once, but obviously did blame the Tories for everything. Still only got 5 watching. Look. That's abysmal. Said they were giving a lot of stuff away for free. I mean, they still kept on about the free school breakfast clubs. Well, as we know, school breakfasts paid for by the taxpayer. They don't do it for free, do they? So that they're not free school meals. The parents and other taxpayers are paying for them. And it's the parents that they need to lift out of poverty. It's nothing to do with the kids. If the parents are in poverty, they can't feed the kids. It's not the other way around. But then, I mean, I'll go into it in a bit. Giving away free apprenticeships. Scot-free, she said. No, someone's got to pay for them. The employer's not going to pay for them. Down to the taxpayer, isn't it?
Good evening, Adrian.
Good evening, Adrian. Adrian, UK geographer.
Yeah, all the names are showing the YouTube wave for some.
Oh, weird. Good evening, Adrian. Anyway, buddy, sorry about that. But yeah,
Don't know why
these free apprenticeships won't be free. Someone's paying, aren't they? You know, this is through this investment hub, as they call it, that they're designing. You know, none of any of this is in place yet, but, well, bar one, which we'll get to in a bit. But who's going to invest in businesses? You know, the last report I heard, that there was up to 250,000 millionaires, business owners, billionaires, entrepreneurs that are pissed off out the country. They took their money with them. So where all these jobs they're saying are going to come from, I don't know. Because they're going to kill more jobs off, you know, especially with what they've done over income tax, national insurance, etc. Add to that the pay rises, the national living wage and the minimum wage. Good evening, Moo. Well, most businesses are struggling now. They ain't going to be able to pay more for the people that are working for them. So that's going to be more out on their asses. They keep saying, and she mentioned it again today in the budget, they're getting this investment from here, there, and everywhere, in this, that, and the other, but not telling us what it is. What are they investing in? What are the businesses? Just standing there and saying, "Oh, we've got several million investment in this from so and so," but they're not saying what the investment's for, where it's going. It just doesn't make sense. And as usual way with most of the shit, everything's not going to happen for 2 or 3 years. Anything that benefits anybody other than them. What else? Well, I'm just, because I made loads of weird scattering notes here. I'm just trying to decipher them. Just trying to write things down as we go. Yeah, the motorists. Now, we knew they were going to try and hammer the motorists. But they've held up and frozen the fuel duty until September next year. Next year. There will be a rise in road tax. There always is every year. That has nothing to do with the budget. I'm surprised they didn't mention too much about it. Sorry for my voice, folks. My throat's been a bit dicky again the last couple of days. But are they gonna hammer EVs with this pay per mile? And is it fair just giving them pay per mile? Now we know our road tax will go up, but if our car's on the street, if we need to use it, it has to be taxed. We can't just pay as we drive. Yet they can leave theirs on the road and only pay when they actually use them. They didn't look at it from that angle, did they? But we know they're trying to drive motoring and cars and everything off the roads anyway. We know that. They've been trying to do it for years, all parties. But yeah, what was it? 3p a mile for full EVs, and is it 1.5?
1.5.
1.5 for plug-in hybrids. You know, she rightly said they do the same amount of damage to the roads, but they won't have to pay to leave theirs on the road if they're not using it like the rest of us, unfortunately. But, there you go. And I mean, the only reason the fuel duty's been frozen is because the Tories put it in place till 2026. So. But yeah, all I'm doing is trying to pick out the bits that would apply to you, me, every normal, everyday person in the street. You know, there was a lot about mansion taxes and stuff like that. Well, yeah, mansion tax on properties over 2 million. Well, you look at some of the properties on the market now, and some of the houses that are for sale for 2 million aren't exactly mansions, are they? You know, but that's going to be several £1,000 more on top of their council tax. Fair enough, Adrian. He's just never come up as that before, that's all. Yeah, so these people that have won these £4 million houses on that draw thing that's always going on, they're going to find themselves paying a lot more in council tax if they keep them. There's already been several that said, "Oh, we're going to sell them because we just want to be able to afford to run them." They sold the house, took the money, and run.
I knew it. I know the only person we might have in the channel. God
with
bless his
a
soul.
mansion.
Yeah, it was going to be Moo with the mansion, wasn't it? Of course it was.
But there are council tax rises apparently. But apparently that again, as usual, that's the annual one down to local authorities. Good evening, Tony. In Birmingham there, well, I don't quite know what they're doing because we had the 2-year deal that started last year, which was 20% rise over 2 years. Well, we had nearly 10% rise last year. So if we get any more than that this year, they're actually breaking the rules they made. But we'll see. But yeah, the higher tax rates, council tax rates will be from band H, from what I can see. But don't forget, it's not the actual council tax that kills you on this. It's all the add-ons from the police, social services, little bits from council services that you don't actually get but you pay for. But yeah, a lot of it was aimed at the businessman. Milkshake tax, the sugar tax. I mean, that's one of the most ridiculous ones I've ever seen. But considering a lot of products now have sugar in, they're going to make money on it, aren't they? To me, that is just another controlling mechanism, trying to force people to stop the sugary drinks. But, and that covers pre-packaged coffees as well, I believe, which I never drink. But another big one, which a lot of people seem to like, was the lift on the 2-child cap on benefits. And that's going to be gone next year. Well, considering we're supposed to be outbred, there's only one minority that I can think of that are breeding like rabbits that claim benefits. 6, 7 kids that, they're going to gain a lot of money. Not the sensible people that only have 1 or 2 because they can't afford anymore. Mind you, there are 1 or 2, I know, the benefit norm scroungers that will keep having them because they can get more of that. But I don't think that will encourage us to improve the breeding. I'm not going to attach anything else to that because it will be, oh, you're a fucking racist. Well, I'm not. I fucking hate everybody, don't I?
Including me sometimes.
But I mean, the ones that usually impact people like me, people like some of you out there, is the smoking. Well, if you smoke, get them in quick. Because the duty on cigarettes and tobacco, as she put it, to extend the words, will be at the rate of inflation plus 2 percentage points. Well, as somebody said, they'll probably use September's inflation rate, which was 4.5%. Plus 2, that makes it 6.5%. But unlike most of the shit she's put in place, this isn't being extended and started in April or 2028. The actual rates on cigarettes and tobacco is going up after 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So they want the instant money from that. So if you smoke, go and get yourself a supply if you can afford it before 6 o'clock tomorrow, or you'll be paying more. I mean, that is the duty, mind. So, prices will go up, but not by a full 6.5%, I'd have thought. Now, the other one is alcohol, which I know concerns a lot of people that I know. It doesn't matter me because I don't drink, but
I do.
You do, yep. So you'll be out tomorrow. Well, no, you got until next year, haven't you? But this is going to go up by exactly the same percentage. Obviously, there's different rates for different alcoholic contents on alcohol, as we know. There's no extra on draft. They did that last year, trying to encourage people to go to a pub, which they're now trying to kill off by the sounds of things. So that will go up by 6.5% as well. But they've given everybody a Christmas present because they're not going to put that up until February next year. So, you can go and buy loads and loads over Christmas and New Year at the old price, and then bang, it'll go up again. But she still seems to think she's doing a good job. But I mean, gambling tax up from 15 to 25%. Well, that's only for online. You can still go down the bookies. Nothing's changed. You can still go and bet on the GGs. Nothing's changed. It doesn't actually concern me because I don't gamble except for the odd lottery ticket. Yeah, there's a lot of people brew their own already, Moo. Loafer does.
Yeah, I know Moo's was getting tips off Loafer at one point.
I mean, but it's a bit different when you drink spirits, isn't it? That's a different process altogether. But, the businessmen, all the big businesses now are telling her that you've ruined the country. This is just going to make it worse. You need to go. Well, that's nothing we have been saying for some time. But what is anybody else?
It's worse than bloody Beetlejuice.
Look at that. As soon as you say his name, we only said it twice. But, is this budget going to affect any of you guys other than the usual stuff that goes up every year?
Any of you be entitled to free school breakfast?
Yeah. If you're young enough to entitle to free school breakfast, you shouldn't be in here. But yeah, some of you will have kids. I mean, as I say, they used to bang on about school meals, free school meals. Well, nothing's free. If a government tells you something's free, you're paying for it one way or another. I was in the bed with a book. I mean, there was a lot more to it. I particularly like the fact that right before Thieving Reeves stood up, Madam Deputy Speaker give them a bollocking of releasing stuff and leaking stuff to the press. And no, she actually said this is against parliamentary rules. Now, Mr. Speaker has said it lots of times. So they break parliamentary rules and nothing gets done about it. Well, this time it just might, because I've had a nod that a lot of Labour voters and Labour members are not happy about this budget at all. The amount of benefits that are going to need be paying out. The only thing basically was the child benefit cap and what they were going to do with PIP. Well, the mobility side, and I've always agreed with it for years, they're actually going to stop providing the likes of Mercedes, BMW, luxury cars, as it were, which I totally agree with, because there's a lot of saloon cars out there that would be more suitable for people than a BMW or a Mercedes, or as Heather said, a Range Rover, something like that. Now, I've always had the idea of mobility that you have several different levels. Now, I've said this before. You have your small town car, you have your medium-sized family car, although certain minorities that will get it, the size of their families, they'll probably need a fucking SUV or a people carrier in some cases.
Bus.
A bus. Gonna buy a coach. What do you want on your mobility? A fucking coach, yeah. So, they'll still be able to abuse the system in a certain way. But then you've got your specialty vehicles where you've got to have modifications done, wheelchairs and stuff like that. You've got to think of those. So I always said there should be a section of specialised vehicles, which you should have to be assessed for, I believe. But the basic mobility car, small car, 4-door family saloon, say half a dozen models from half a dozen different manufacturers. There's the list you pick from. You don't go and pick. They're giving you the options of one of those. 5 or 6 4-door saloons, 5 or 6 little town cars, if that's all they need. And then your specialist vehicles on top of that. There's no reason to ever have the likes of BMW, Mercedes. I mean, they even added a sports car a couple of weeks ago. Was it not the MX-5? It was a 2-litre sports car that was on the bloody list for PIP and mobility. I thought, what the fuck? But yeah, well, she looked like a bloody schoolgirl, didn't she? The one running the shit show. But and again, going away from the budget, because we knew it was going to kill the country. We ain't going to see any extra in our pockets. Far from it. It's with prices going up still. I mean, the energy cap, 3-wheelers, yeah, the little blue ones move with the 2 strokes. Got handlebars instead of a steering wheel. Yeah, I remember them. Yeah, with prices still going up. I mean, the energy price cap hasn't gone up a big lot, but the problem with the energy price cap is they never charge, and nobody's been paying right up to that price cap. They've always left a margin at the top of it where they can charge more without going above the price cap. So all they've done by raising the price cap is give them the ability to lift bills even further. What else? Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna make sure that your bills are 150 quid cheaper a year. Well, you've been doing that already, and so did the Tories by the 150 quid credit that's supposed to have gone to everybody's energy bills. Have we ever had it put on ours?
I wouldn't know.
That's something to look into. Unless you got to fucking apply for it like you do everything else with these idiots.
No, you don't have to apply. It should have.
Yeah, they said it was automatic. Yeah, you want to look into that, bud. But yeah, they've got the scope there to put the energy bills way up. I've got a bit to say about that in a while, actually. Some more notes that I wrote out. But when Comrade Starmer was giving his little yappy bit before Thieving Reeves stood up, he made a big attack on reform. Now, he did this the other day over the ex-MP or whatever he is that got jailed for allegedly spying with the Russians or for the Russians. Something to do with the Russians, anyway. Now, Starmer made a blistering attack on reform about this. Well, at the time it happened, he wasn't a reform member or an MP or a councillor. He was an independent. So he's trying to blame reform just because they took him on later or earlier or whatever. Now, this, to me, is very hypocritical. He said that he wanted a full investigation into it. Okay? So let's have a full investigation into you and your contacts, present and past, with the Chinese then, Starmer, shall we? You know? Don't forget, he's the one that wants them to build this big spy centre, embassy in London. I mean, this is a very big case of pot, kettle and black, isn't it? He's been cheek to cheek, take that whichever way you want to, with the Chinese for some time. We know he wants to adopt their surveillance systems and credit scoring. After all, it's what communists do, isn't it? But he's calling for more sanctions on Russia. Yeah, particularly on gas and oil. Now, there was a big conflab yesterday in the House over this, and Kimmy Badenoch had a right go about it, about how the oil and gas is still being bought and what have you. But, well, Starmer, you knob, consider this. We've got the highest energy prices in the world, basically. Not just because of you, but because of your predecessors as well. You've totally, between you, screwed up us producing our own gas and oil. And just in case we wanted to revert back to it and, produce some of our own, you went and blew the fucking power stations up. This is all to do with the net zero bollocks. Now, this is why we have to pay extortionate prices for our energy, or quite a big portion of our energy, from the EU. And guess who is still burning Russian gas, oil, to produce energy, along with coal from places like Canada and I dare say elsewhere. And the EU is getting this from the Russians. But Starmer wants to cut them out. He wants to stop the Russians supplying them. So this is going to go two ways if they do this, and the EU will have considered it because they won't be the bigger loser out of it. But two ways. They will either realise that they can't produce enough electricity and energy without Russia, so they'll use most of it for themselves. What little bit they will sell to us will be absolutely extortionate price. And scenario two, that they just cut us off altogether. Yeah. This is the government. All governments, they say these things, they put things in place, and they do not consider the results of their actions. We see this time and time again. They'll put something in place and then put something else in which nullifies that and puts everything up. Good evening, Graham. Early entrance tonight, mate. Starmer keeps poking his nose into the Russian and Ukraine shit. He's already been told he's not welcome at the peace talks. And he's even had to turn around and say he wants some of the peace talks changed, some of the ideas put forward. But it's fuck all to do with him. You're a prick, Starmer. Keep your nose out. You're not wanted. It's Trump's baby. It's nothing to do with you whatsoever. And they've already admitted, Trump already said, as soon as you open your mouth, things just get worse. Which we see all the time, don't we? But, yeah. And yesterday, fucking Reeves again. I can't stand that woman. Moaning that everybody's getting on her back about not doing the job. She called it mansplaining. Well, sweetheart, there's as many women out there that hate you as much as there are men. So that statement is a waste of time. Most of it. Yeah, most of it is, Graham. It's either what we've got is either owned by them or we buy it off of foreign suppliers. Some of it's Chinese as well, including the nuclear industry that they're building up. But yeah, that should be a bit of a news flash for Rachel from accounts. Yeah. Unbelievable. But, yeah, they've got to blame somebody else. They cannot take responsibility for anything they've done or are doing. Hence, we can be cut off. Well, that's what they'd like, Graham. They'd like the power all through the smart meters. They want the digital ID so they can control your shopping, your transport. Well, they're already controlling a lot of transport with prices. But, with better incentive to buy an EV. No, you've started to charge tax on them now. So you lied to us, everybody over that, saying they would always have the benefits, and now you're taking them away. Don't forget Khan's adding them to the ULEZ. You won't be able to drive your electric vehicle for free in London anymore. But again, you got Fat Boy Lammy. We've already lost a lot of our freedoms. They keep saying, or he keeps lying and saying we've got freedom of speech, yet they're still arresting people for posts and tweets and stuff like that. Even though the Met said they wouldn't follow up or investigate any, it seems that other forces will. But I've got a bit to say about them in a minute as well. In particular, our own local one. But he wants now juryless trials for everything other than very serious cases, i.e., well, the way they put it was rape, murder, and worse. Well, you don't get any worse than rape or fucking murder. You know what I mean? But everything else will be just the judge. And the budget. if you go back and watch the stream in a bit, Graham, I just went through the main points that'll do us. There is a rise coming on alcohol, not until February. The rise on tobacco and ciggies actually starts tomorrow night on the duty at 6 o'clock. So from 6 o'clock tomorrow, everybody will be putting their prices up. But yeah, he wants juryless trials. I mean, that is taking away one of the most basic rights of this country. The right, the Magna Carta, Loafer, it clearly states that everybody has a right to a fair trial and be judged by their peers. Not in so many words, but yeah, so that is another fundamental right that we would have taken away from us. And you'll end up in court. You'll be judged by a government-controlled entity. Yes, I know there's one or two good judges out there. We've seen one or two good results in the past, but we've also seen more of the corrupt fuckers sending people down for nothing. And people that should go down haven't been sent down, or just given paltry minimal sentences. Now, if this happens, I don't know where we're going to end up, because justice will be gone. I mean, don't forget, they threatened to jail, and they actually did take to court some of the victims of the grooming gangs for complaining about it. You know? I haven't got that far into it, Loafer. But no, this is, or can be, very, very bad for us. And to prove the point how justice and the police can't be trusted, look at what our own West Midlands police did here over the football match. They said they had intelligence. Well, as we know, intelligence and the police shouldn't be used in the same sentence at the moment, because most of them haven't got any. They're just drones. They're given an order and they carry it out no matter what. Yeah, like fucking iRobot. But yeah, and I mean, you've only got to look around at other news. There's the amount of stabbings that have happened over this weekend and early this week. Attacks, rapes. You know, and think about it, none of those will be tried by a jury. Maybe some of the stabbings, because some have died. But the social media is showing this is happening all over the country. You know, the only place that seems is safe is London, and that's only because Khan tells you it's safe. But we know it isn't. It's a plague. It's an absolute plague. No racism in football. Yeah. If you ask why it's happening, or complain that it's happening, what do you get? Ooh, you're a racist. But yeah, the West Midlands police, they said they had all this intelligence from the police force in the Netherlands. Police in the Netherlands, no, they never got anything like that from us. So basically, they banned the Israeli fans, Maccabi or whatever they're called, from attending this football match on basically a load of bollocks. What they were actually doing was bowing down to what a certain minority wanted. And they got what they wanted because the idiots in West Midlands police bowed down to them, sucked their arse, and banned McCarthy. I mean, that should be investigated, and it should also be put in front of the IOPC in the first instance as well, because that is false reporting. They filed a false report to get what they wanted, or what somebody wanted, not necessarily them. No, it never fits together, Moo, using them two words with them. They've showed their incompetence enough now. And we know it's happening. So. But falsifying evidence, yeah, that is a crime. Let's try and, was it George Galloway? But, yeah, it just shows how they operate. We know they issue false warrants or turn up with alleged warrants and haven't got them. They'll lie through their back teeth. They'll harass people. They'll push people. They'll edge people on. All right, Graham, no worries, mate. Take care, buddy. We've got loads of whistleblowers coming out, as I said before now, from ex-job, speaking out. And one in particular, I won't name him, but he said you would be absolutely shocked if you knew just how deep the rot goes in the police. Literally, they did it to bow down to the Islamists. Were they told to, or did they fuck up on their own back? Because both are possible with the police. Prove my point. Look at today in London with the farmers' protest. It's been being organised for weeks. Police were happy with it. Last minute, they ban it. Now, banning it last night, just think a lot of farmers from over the country have probably been down there since yesterday because they got to drive all the tractors there. They're not the speediest of things. But the police banned it. But the farmers gave them the middle finger and said, fuck you, we're coming in anyway. And before the daylight even came out, before the sun come up, there were the police arresting them. But had they thought about it? Can you imagine? Got your tractor, you cover it with a black sheet, you cut a hole where the windscreen is, put your tractor in a burqa, put a Palestinian flag on the top, they wouldn't stop you. They'd even protect you while you were protesting, wouldn't they? Unbelievable. But basically, that is it from the notes tonight, guys. I mean, the biggest portion obviously was the budget. We know what's happened there now. The fallout's going to start over that over the next couple of days. Well, it's already started, but I think they've just pushed us further down the line to destroying the finances of this country. To be honest, there's nothing there that says anything's going to improve. But enough of the doom and gloom and the shit. How is everybody? Now I've been back to the doctors again, as you can see by the bruises in there. They've been sucking more blood out of me. She did well, actually, the nurse this time. She only took 2 attempts. Normally it's half a dozen just to get it to drip. But yeah, it was just this annual health check thing they do. I don't know why I had to go for it. But, I have checks and investigations every month, or every 2 or 3 months now. They cut them back a bit, probably to make room for somebody else, because I ain't getting any better, but I ain't getting any worse. The issues seem to have leveled them out. I manage my symptoms with my medications or whatever, but it's still a job to do anything. And I mean, I've done no videos this week. I just haven't had the energy. I just can't put things together, I mean, it's like tonight, my sleep patterns are all over the place. I did try and have a kip earlier. That didn't work. You can get a burger. Yeah, not to fit a tractor though, Moo. You just chuck a black sheet over your head and cut a slot in it, don't you? But the thing is, if they let them wear them, they can't stop us wearing them. And if they want to bring in facial recognition, well, that's the first thing that's going to have to go, isn't it? Otherwise, it's plain discrimination. Oh, they don't have to show their faces, but we do. Section 10 of the Equalities Act 2010. Get off my tractor. Yeah, that would be a bit worrying, wouldn't it, Moo? Loafer? How many girlfriends you have? Oh, you don't know, the dog ain't counted them. Oh, they wouldn't have dogs, would they? No, don't like them. Haram, no. Can't have dogs. Doesn't mean say they can't have a field full of sheep. Farmer, Viz, yeah. Yeah, we are Nikolai. I think that's Nikolai with my eyes. That just looks like a jumble of letters there. I think that's Nikolai. Yeah, well, we've been saying this for a while, and not just us. There's others that are seeing it. Well, everybody's seeing it by the bloody government. It's not the fact that they're not seeing it. It's the fact that they want it to happen. That's why everything they do is leaned and biased towards them. Same with the police. I mean, they said they were going to empty the hotels. Well, to me, it looks like they're opening more. And the ones they have moved and put in camps, well, they're kicking up merry fuck anyway. But let's have a look what else we got in there. No Stitch tonight. She's normally in by now.
She's still.
Oh yeah, she might be still in the temporary accommodation.
Yeah.
She said the Wi-Fi and everything was all bollocksed up there, didn't she? Yeah, I forgot about that. But good evening to the lurkers in the background there. Anyway, the good and the bad. I know you're always there. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting what various parties come out with tomorrow over this budget. I mean, Farage has already had his say. He called it a load of bollocks, basically, not in so many words. A couple of others have done the same. And I'm in agreement with anybody that says it was a right load of bollocks. It's not going to improve the economy. I mean, you think about the OBR saying that it's going to downgrade what's going to happen with the economy till the end of this parliament. Oh, miraculously, the day of the budget. Oh, no, we'll put it up a little bit. Well, I stopped believing the ONS and these things that are controlled by the government a long time ago, especially when they started fudging the numbers in the ONS. Save this silly. Yeah, exactly, loafer. But this is the problem when you've got an alleged religion. I mean, is it classed as a religion? Basically, if you don't agree with them, off with your fucking head. You know, they run the religion by fear. A bit like government runs the country by fear, and everything they put in place is to frighten us. But well, has anybody else got anything to say on it rather than me just sat here chatting? I mean, that's why we do these. Like, I mean, I could easily do an hour video a week, but I do the live to give everybody a chance to have their say and give their opinions. Like I say, you can have a difference of opinion, absolutely fine, as long as you put it respectfully and keep it clean in the chat. That's how this channel's run, no exceptions, zero tolerance. But if you don't agree, or you got something to say about them, you're responsible for your own comments. Yeah, I can only work on what feedback you give me after I've had my say. But this harem thing, loafer. Now, again, that's something that belongs to their Sharia law, whatever. So why do they think they can come to a foreign land and just implement their laws? If you want to live by that law, live by that book, then you fuck off to a country that is an Islamic country, a Muslim country. But they're not satisfied with that. They want to push it on everybody. I mean, look at what's happening in America. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, what Trump's doing with the illegals is the same as we should fucking do here. But we know our government is gutless. They won't do it. They won't even stop them in the channel. I think the lads that went over to France have stopped more fucking boats than this government ever has. Yeah, they are, Moo. They are. I mean, you got lots and lots of these little groups and committees. It was like, what was it? One of the committees during COVID. They were trying to tell us what to do medically, what to do, lockdowns, how to act. Not one of them was a fucking scientist or a doctor. Same as we got someone who knows nothing about money and business running the money in this country now. With the old, what shall we call her? Complaints answerer that we've got as a chancellor. We've got a PM that will do absolutely anything for anybody else around the world and make himself look a prick while he's doing it. You've only got to look at the COP fucking meeting and the G20 shit and stuff like that. They're not interested in him. But he will go there and throw money at them to try and make himself popular by destroying his own country. I mean, there was nothing in the budget today about foreign aid. Well, personally, I think, yeah, it's bad that there's nasty things going on all around the world. But those nasty things are going to start happening here and have been because he's been sending them all the money rather than sorting out fucking country. Yeah, and that's it, Loafer. They get so many benefits. You know, like their final salary pension that can't be fucked with and stuff like that. But you know, I don't call them elites because they're not intelligent enough to be classed as an elite as such. Yeah, well, Dominic Cummings did a lot of exposing, and he still is, isn't he, Loafer? You know, he's been making some predictions, and yeah, they are literally parasites. I mean, anybody. I mean, the new landlords thing and the thing with taxes on properties and shit. Well, all that's going to do is make people homeless because you know they won't be able to pay the rents that the landlords will need to put them up to cover themselves. Yeah, the days are gone of oh yeah, I'm going to buy a second house somewhere. That one's for my retirement, but I'll rent it out until then. It's going to screw them up. They've come after people's savings. I mean, yeah, they're going after expats now that are living abroad and still drawing a pension. Well, that pension has been paid for. As far as I'm concerned, they can go and live where they fucking want. You know, a lot of them do take the piss. They're closing the window on national insurance for them so they can keep claiming their pensions once they're abroad. But but even people living abroad, they've gone after like that now. Which is fair enough. If you're not living in this country, then you shouldn't be taking anything out of this country other than what you've put into it. I mean, I haven't had a passport for, fuck me, must be 20 years. And Heather's never had one. And we've got no intention of going abroad. We holiday in this country. Any money we spend stays in this country. We try and make sure it's always cash. But, yeah, there's nothing. What they've done today will help anybody with the cost of living. Silver is getting harder to buy these. Well, silver and gold, Moo. I mean, silver is the best bet apparently at the moment. But
it was Moo that said that last week.
Yeah. You know, I don't invest anyway. I don't have the money to invest. You know, you've got to imagine a young lad been told that he wouldn't live over 21 years of age because of a hole in his heart. Earning good money. Yeah, I wanted to enjoy life. So, yeah, it was always told save for your old age, put a bit aside, you know, have extra pensions. And I always questioned, is it going to be worth it? Well, it would seem as if now, 40, 50 years ago when I said that, I was fucking right because it's not worth saving and having a pension because they're just going to fucking rip you off for it. The only way to do it is get it out of this country. VAT on Royal Mint silver coins. Yeah, that's not the sort of markets I've ever followed, Loafer. Other than when I've weighed in the odd bit of scrap jewellery or something. 20%. Yeah. I mean, you know, they said they wouldn't put VAT and that up. Well, funny enough, she didn't say anything too much about higher rates of tax on the very high earners, just on their properties. There's a lot there I haven't been into because it doesn't really apply to me. So, I just watched what she said and basically looked up the other stuff myself. But that's as far as it got. It was I was just getting too tired to carry on. But, oh dear. Yeah, nothing about winter fuel payments for the pensioners. What else was there? Nothing about. There was quite a few things that she didn't talk about. I preferred the old way they did the budget. They just stood there, one subject, right? Tobacco, alcohol, fuel, not all the bollocks in between that she was giving. Yeah, 50-year mortgages. But the thing is, Lothar, I mean, America's up in arms at the moment anyway. You've only got to look at the state of New York. That fucking idiot that's took over there. I mean, it's killed the city. You look at the cities where Trump's gone in, heavy-handed, cleared them out. The Americans are now taking up the jobs they were doing. People are saying they feel safer on the streets. With stuff like that, you've got to go zero tolerance. You've got to either do it full on or not do it at all. There's a lot of people don't like the way Trump's doing things. Some of the things he's doing I don't like, but there are other things, like his policies on immigration, that I totally fucking agree with. I mean, straight out, he identified which countries people were coming from. So, yeah, the government's still closed over there. It's costing them a lot of money, that is, Mo. And straight away, he banned anybody from coming from those countries into America. Those that border America or very close, anybody that's been picked up has been fucked off back there. He's not pussyfooting around them like our lot are here. It's, you're gone, boom, bye. None of this. We'll give it a few months to see what court cases can throw up and what the European Court of Human Rights can do for you. They're gone. They're history. And that's what we should be able to do here. These countries that won't take them back. Oh, yeah, they threatened them. Oh, you won't get any with visas then. You won't get any more visas from your country. They still don't take them back. Well, you fly them over. I've got no problem with seeing them thrown out of aeroplanes on fucking parachutes. They've got no choice but to accept them back then, have they? Yeah, I think that there is a load of voting going on the American government closure move. I don't follow a lot of American politics. It's too fucked up. There's too many people and too much involved in it. Bit like our own, but bigger. Yeah, Jess Phillips from Yardley Green, yeah. A lot of them, I think they will make a conservative effort to ban the local elections next May because they know they're going to get fucking wiped off the board, including all the front bench. There's never been a government where they've never had a constituency on the front bench, and I think this could be another record breaker. It's the same as Mahudlo, isn't it? I mean, she's Birmingham. Oh, we used to get all the racial abuse and this, that, and the other. Yeah, you do in Birmingham. It's always happened. It happens in London. It happens in Oxford. You know. Again, she's just playing the racist card. With what she's done on immigration, the new ideas that she's come up with. Again, nothing about stopping the boats. It's all relying on deterrent. And as I say, the fact that you could die coming across the channel, if that isn't deterrent enough, nothing's going to stop them. Nothing she says, no idea they put in place. As long as they can get a boat or steal a boat, find a boat that can get them across that channel, they're going to keep trying. I mean, think about it. Look at the Med. The amount of people trying to cross there and the size of the boats. And we're not talking about 90 in a boat. We're talking 400 or 500 on a boat. They regularly drowned. But they still keep trying. They take the risk. There's one lot picked up out there in a fucking rubber boat in the Med that had been out there for 4 days. And they were all saying, oh, yes, yeah, we're safe now, we're safe now. No, you're not, because they're taking you back to the country where you fucking come from, mate. But yeah, I mean, you take Liverpool, Loafer, which has been a Labour stronghold for God knows how long, that's falling. Most of the Labour constituencies now, if they haven't gone over to Reform, they've gone to one of the others. And one or two local councillors and that have just said, oh, we're going independent. You know, we don't want nothing to do with any of them. We do our own fucking thing. But Birmingham, that's probably the biggest Labour council. And they're shit. Absolute shit. I mean, it looks like the bin strike's going to go on well into next year. As I said last week, they've even got the agency staff now are on about striking. I mean, they pissed off the SAS royally, didn't they? That's one bunch of guys I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of. You know, think about it, Starmer. You piss the SAS off too much, you could actually find one stood at the edge of end of your bed one morning and you wouldn't know that he fucking got in there and he would have everybody else. Even with your security. Yeah, I don't think it would ever come to that, but stranger things have happened. Yeah, I see that one, Loafer. But yeah, there are women and kids that come across in the boats. I mean, personally, any woman that endangers a young child with a crossing like that should have the child taken off of her for endangering it anyway. But yeah, the old saying, if you're running away from war, you take your family. If you're running to war, you leave them at home. And most of them are leaving them at home, aren't they? Or is it they only want the ones here that are breeders? You know, Khan's banned Gervais from putting any more posters up on the underground, didn't he? Up to the ones he's been putting up. But every single one of them has been spot on. I'll give him that. You know, he's very outspoken, and he don't give a shit. He will speak his mind. You know, if you go down to Dover, Loafer, I believe it's still in place. It is quite hard to film them down there now. A lot of lads were saying, oh, you know, they banned drones around the harbour and what have you. Well, the actual ban on drones covers quite an area of Dover. Same with photography on the docks. What people are doing now is actually going up on the hill and using big lenses and filming from a distance. That's the only way they can do it. Apparently the Coast Guard do frown on boats going out into the channel filming. They were threatening skippers of fishing boats that take people out just to film and look for the dinghies. But unless you go out into the channel, you're not going to get much chance of seeing one. There's only the odd one or two that make it all the way across. The rest are picked up halfway. And if you got the elevation enough with a decent lens, you could probably film them out there doing that, to be honest. But as I say, the Raise the Colour lads, I mean, they've had some warnings now in France about it. Yeah, they're taking action. They're not sitting there talking about it like a government. Direct action. And I think that's what's needed. It's the only thing that's going to stop them is direct action. Yeah, digital ID will stop the boats. Yeah, I don't see how that would work, Moo, because they wouldn't get them before they get here, would they? So, so Starmer's on a losing one with that one to start with. But I think before Christmas, we will hear that Reeves is gone. With that idiot fucking Lammy, I think he'll be gone. With any luck, that prick Miliband will be gone. You see him sat there today. He looked like he needed a straitjacket. He looked like he was just sat on the bench in the Commons going, every time you looked at him, that's all he was doing. It's bloke's a fucking freak. And it's been let out today, which he probably knows about. But apparently in some of the Chinese wind turbine blades, they've been finding some of them have got asbestos in amongst the construction on them. Yeah, loafer. That's an old one. Yeah, but that digital ID, they're basically every MP has said that not having it won't work. So rather than look at other options, they're looking at the same thing and just changing the name of it. No, I honestly don't think so, Moo. I reckon they should all be site tested. And Miliband's got to be off his face. He's just not right in the head. Starmer, pathological liar. You know, that's a mental illness. I suppose with Reeves, you know, can't count but wants to be the Chancellor, running billions and billions of pounds. There's got to be a bit of insanity there to think you can do that and get away with it. Lammy just loses his mind. I think he just has a blank and he just blurts shit out. I mean, what was it the other day? One of his heroes, Bill Cosby. Yeah, the kiddie fiddler. Or must say alleged kiddie fiddler there.
Kiddly fiddler.
Kiddie fiddler. Kid. Child molester. You know, I get my words fucked up.
Pie.
But yeah, coming out and say that, you know, that's one of his heroes. You know, like Starmer with Mandelson, wouldn't it? Yeah, I've got full confidence in him, even though he's been to Epstein Island and he's a good mate of his, you know. And that's why I said earlier, he's got no place calling out anybody from any party over their associations with other people. I mean, mastermind. I'll tell you what, they'd make a perfect couple, wouldn't they, Loafer? David Lammy and that silly bitch, what's her name? Abacus. Diane Abbott. Could you imagine trying to have a conversation with the two of them together? Fucking hell. You drive me mental. But, the qualifications for being a politician must be capable of lying outright with a straight face. If you've got any integrity, leave it at the door. The same with morals. And you're not there to make people happy or make the country better. You're there to line your own pockets. Abbott shoes, yeah. A pair only consists of one, doesn't it? So you put one different on each feet. Honestly, that woman is a disgrace. But don't forget, with what's going on, you've still got the old ginger growler there waiting in the wings, haven't you? She's keeping very, very quiet. Very quiet. And you got West Street in. He's the one that wants to experiment on the kids again with puberty blockers. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But the thing that's really bugging me about all this is Labour called out the Tories for many, many years on their wrongdoings in Parliament. If they farted in the wrong direction, we've got to have him removed. Yet Labour do it time and time and time again, and nothing's said. Complain, he just dismisses it. It's good to be the boss. I mean, at the end of the day, they can't understand why people don't like them. Well, basically, if you're a good leader and an honest leader, people will forgive mistakes and they will still follow you. A leader that has to hide behind an armoured car, bulletproof glass, won't come out and meet the public because he fears being ridiculed. That's not a leader. People don't follow that. The only people that do are brainwashed. You've only got to look at Hitler, Mussolini, even the old Russian governments. I mean, they ruled with fear. But then Starmer's got to look into what happened to those dictators. How Hitler's regime ended. How Mussolini's regime ended. But if anybody strings him up from a lamppost, please, like they did Mussolini, please take the Union Jack down first. We don't want that associated with Starmer. Yeah, exactly. Southport. Apparently, young Ruda Cabana's been having a rough time in prison. Can't say I'm sorry. But as I said, there's been a bit of a glut of, what shall I call them? Weird people being offed and attacked in prison. It would seem that some of them in there have got a bit of integrity and morals, I mean, they always say there's honesty amongst thieves, but But again, everything's been overshadowing everything. I mean, there was big uproar about the prisons 2 weeks ago. We haven't heard anything about it since. Nothing about the super prisons. Franco, yeah, there's another one. Yeah, but didn't they hang Mussolini's wife alongside him, didn't they, Lothar, if I remember my history right? They were both killed and strung up to a lamppost. But, you know, Italy, that is another country that swapped sides regular during the big conflicts. Same as France, you know. Oh, they're winning, we'll back them. What company did do the job on this? Yeah. Don't forget, he does get 2 parliamentary wages, one for being an MP and one for being Prime Minister. Although I do believe they don't get paid all of it, or he didn't get paid all of it. Romania. Oh, was that the one where his missus had all the shoes or something, Lothar? The big shoe collection. And they caught him leaving the country with a fucking helicopter full of cash or something. No, that was Marcos, wasn't it? Imelda Marcos. Sorry, I'm getting my heads mixing them up again. Or was that, no, wasn't that the 2 that they dragged out and executed? Shot them up against the wall. Yeah, the Philippines. Yeah, that was the one I was mixing up with it. Lothar, sorry. But I remember a little while back there was 2 of them that were basically dragged out, put up against the wall and shot. Both him and his missus. But I can't for the life of me remember who it was now. There's too many people get shot to keep up with, isn't it? But there's not a lot there today. Chat disconnected. Hello, what's going on here? Whatever that's come up, that is not me. Oh, no.
Is it still there?
No, there's people posting.
Yeah, so I just put hello in.
Don't know what that was all about. Good evening, YouTube, by the way. We know you like to watch, listen, interfere when you feel that you're getting too sexually aroused, you know. Although, other than one comment, or was it 2, removed from last week's stream. Well, I say they're not interfering. Obviously, I'm shadow banned. The figures and everything, back all that up. But they still haven't explained what wholesome content is that they wanted me to do. Oh, you must produce more wholesome content. Yeah, if I do that, it's going to come under pornography and then I'll just get banned anyway. So. In one way, it's cool. It's nice to have a small band, a loyal following, which I've got. Right from the beginning, I always said I didn't want a huge channel. Unfortunately, I made the fuck up of putting up a Monty Python's one that went totally viral. Well over 7 million views now. if it was one of my own videos, I'd have been well chuffed. But yeah, a lot of subscribers have subscribed on the back of that one, I think, and just hoping that I'd put more of the same up, which that was near enough just a one-off. I did do a couple of sketches from them, but hey ho, 3,500 subscribers and 40 views per video at the moment. Something's definitely wrong there, isn't there? And I've been asking around on YouTube, and there are many other channels that are suffering from the same sort of shit. You don't have to be a big channel to attract their attention, shall I say. I think I did it in my first video. I think I'd only started a month before I got a week's ban. But Elon on X, now I do go on X. I don't put a lot on there, but I am active on there. Same as Facebook. Both the same as on here, just under my real name. I don't hide from anybody. But there is even censorship in X. Those that follow him will know that Marty Blackburn had his X account deleted because the lefties decided to put in loads and loads and loads of complaints. But he's back on there now. He appealed to Tommy Robinson to have a chat with Elon, and he's got a new channel on there, new page now. So lots of folk on Rumble. Yeah, BitChute went well down. Good evening, Steve. Basically, they were a smaller outfit. They were based in Andover, in Hampshire, BitChute. And as soon as Ofcom and the government started on at them, threatening them with fines, they fucked off. They're still live in America, but you can't post anything from England on there. And you can't see anything that's posted on England on there. I deleted mine. I've still got Rumble. I did have Odyssey. I think I've done away with that. Hang on, let's check. Yeah, I deleted Odyssey. But I'm more and more on Facebook now, more than YouTube, really. How you doing, Steve? I've been through all the important stuff. I will say good evening to Peter in advance of receiving your comments the weekend, mate. Keep them coming. Shane Turner sling a collection of meats, flat sausages, bundle of sticks. All right. But you can still buy chicken flame grilled in a fucking shopping trolley. The Royal British Legion, Steve, I don't even give to the Poppy appeal that they put out. Not since the people that investigated found out just exactly what they have got, where it goes, how much people are getting paid, etc. No, I don't give to them anymore. Yeah, but the thing with that move, when you got people controlling the internet, don't forget Google own YouTube. And, it's like the BBC shouting down VPNs, but they use them themselves. But, this is how they use, well, not harassment, but like YouTube. You get thrown off YouTube. if you're bad enough, you can lose your Google account as well. They penalise you through that. Cut down your feed and shit. Everything is controlled. You know, even this free speech on certain platforms and channels, they can still pull you down. There's laws in place to do it. These people that go up behind a paywall with their own website, basically. Well, don't forget, websites can be pulled down. You know, I think Belfield has been taken off of YouTube now, except for his pay behind thing in his website because he pissed them off again. Well, he pisses me off, but you got to be very careful now. There's a lot of, I'm not going to name names, but some of you will know the sort of channels I'm talking about. A lot of what people used to perceive as truthful, honest, new world media channels on social media have started to slightly go the same way as mainstream media went. You know, there's always going to be people putting out false stories. And there's plenty of the AI channels and pages all over the place doing that. But some of these so-called new media channels, they're starting to embellish the story, shall I say. You know, claiming there's more people at a protest when if you look in the background, there obviously isn't. And stuff like that. So always be careful of what you listen to. Alex Bellend. Yeah, well, he was, wasn't he? A complete bellend as far as I'm concerned. He's nothing more than an entertainer and a con man. A bit like that Brian Rose. Oh, the BBC are corrupt through and through, Loafer. We know that. And again, it's been exposed God knows how many times. But with their charter coming up in a year or so, things are going to change, I think, because the government are telling us everything's got to be digital, everything's got to be online. So yeah, if they want that, then the BBC have got to change their ways and go subscription only. I honestly say that charter should be withdrawn. They should not be charging for a license, especially when that license covers other channels. If they're taking money because you're watching ITV, once that charter's gone, if they try to do it then, that's fraud, because they're trying to charge for somebody else's material or somebody else's work. But yeah, he's always been a grifter, same as Brian Rose, Loafer. I mean, I cottoned on to him within 2 weeks of him appearing. Well, if you look at it, Loafer, look at the way, what's her fucking name? Rigsby from Sky News. I mean, that interview she did with Starmer the other day actually called him the chaos. You are the chaos. Now, they'd never have thought, and they'd never even have dared saying anything like that before. But they are calling them out a lot more. Not the BBC, obviously. They're just making excuses for what they did. I haven't heard a lot on Trump suing them over his bit, but Jan, good evening.
Evening, Jane.
That's another name that's... Is that her profile?
Yeah.
Yeah. Might be just me.
No, it's the fact that it's not showing actual screen names.
Yeah, weird. Very weird.
No, that's odd, Jim.
But the thing is, Moo, I think the BBC are reluctant to do that, to do away with it, simply because they know if they go subscription only, they're going to lose millions and millions because people just won't pay for their shit. Yeah, we're fine here, Jen. I'm just a little bit under the weather again. As I showed earlier, I've had some more life's blood extracted on Monday for a full health check. Whether I'll get any results back from that, I don't know. But actually, I haven't got any appointments now until I've only got one booked in December. Yeah, 8th of December, which is a telephone appointment to discuss my results with my haematologist. Yeah, it's only taking blood, Jen. Although I had blood tests regular, the surgery insists on doing this well-being check or whatever it is. As I said, she weren't too bad. I hadn't seen this nurse before, and she only took 2 attempts to get any out. Normally it's half a dozen. That's why I normally have both arms covered in bruises. But I am on extra blood thinners now as well. And they've also, where is it? Oh, it's in here, isn't it? Giving me that little thing because apparently now I've got a bit of angina as well. So on top of everything else. But I'm coping. Yeah, I do get tired, and that's why there hasn't been any videos this week yet. And I've got a lot to do on the run up to Christmas. But as I said, with the ME and the muscle cramps and everything else, it takes me twice as long to do anything. The decorations will come down out the loft, but Mrs. W won't let me get them down while I'm here on my own for safety reasons. My wife's got a cute angina. So has mine, but she's got a nice arse as well, you know.
I'm good, thank you, Jen.
There we go. I mean, you know, is it all? I mean, everybody seems to be a bit lethargic at the moment. Could it be the spraying, the chemicals in the air? Could it be volcanic dust? Apparently, there's plenty of that going on at the moment. I mean, I haven't took the photos off yet, but some mornings I go out and, because I'm up very early usually, I usually go out and take a few pictures out the back. Well, just as the sun was up this morning, beautiful clear sky. Within 20 minutes, the grid started to appear of the white lines. And within 3 hours, we're back to just that grey, abysmal mess up there.
It's called global cooling. That's what's a
Global cooling.
Bloody cold.
Yeah, it's with countries admitting they've been doing it. A couple of companies in this country have admitted they've been doing it. It's only the government that won't admit it. But there's lots of conflicting evidence. I mean, global warming, well, as I said, the globe warms up, cools down, warms up, cools down through cycles. Some cycles lasting thousands of years. Will it snow? Yeah. Well, not if we got global warming, but I mean, we didn't get any in this last lot. A lot around the Midlands area got a little bit, but we didn't get any. Maybe because we're right in the middle of the Midlands. Yeah, it's a lot of these so-called mini epidemics, Steve, are just bullshit. It's propaganda. If there was as many fucking viruses out there as they keep saying, we'd all be dead by now, whether you've been fucking jabbed or not. But yeah, being lethargic, breathing issues, which I've got. I'm not going to say it's connected to anything up there because I believe it's connected to the ME in my blood. But but yeah, a lot of people have been suffering it, especially kids. And half the island got covered, but not more half. We had one good day's rain here. That was about it, Jen. We've had a few frosts.
No snow.
But no snow. I'd quite like the snow because it makes my garden look like everybody else's then. It doesn't look such a mess. Mind you, the grass out there is about 8 inches long because it didn't get its last cut. So that's going to be horrendous next year. I'm probably going to have to trim it before we can even get a mower on it.
No, I think Sparky's mower will make light work of it. Did last year.
I'll make light work of it. I'll weed kill the fucking lot and then just let it come back. And then it'll be green again by the end of the year. But we did thin it out this year. He bought his my mate who cuts it for me, bought his Renathin round and chemtrails. Yeah, you've even got USAF pilots now coming out and saying that they were doing it and how it was done and what they were using. I think it's 2 states in America have got to the point where they've actually banned weather modification.
They weren't doing it anyway, but they banned it now.
Well, one of them, I think, was California or was it Florida? I can't remember. One of them was they actually banned it and said they got to stop doing it. Well, if you're not admitting that you're doing it and then you ban it, you basically admitted that you were doing it, you know. No, yeah, it's not worth it now, Steve. I'm only going to be on for another 10 minutes or so. We've actually covered quite a bit tonight, as you can see by the amounts of notes that I've got there with the budget and that. If it wasn't for the budget, I might have opened it up. But for now, it's just not worth it now for tonight. I'm surprised I made it to this time, actually. Sorry about the sniffling. That's my sinuses. That's another thing that's fucked up. Basically, I'm just a walking wreck.
Yep.
Yeah, you tell M60. You're better off telling M5, though. MI5, Steve. Yeah. Oh, nursing. Well, you mean within the NHS, yeah, or me?
No, she's correcting her post saying she's been nursing an elderly neighbour.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I didn't see the post above it.
That's why I pointed it out for you.
Well, we nurse each other here. Basically, she's my unofficial carer. Oh, you've been caring. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, Heather had to do a bit of that with her mother before she went. But luckily enough, the daughter took most of the pressure off Heather, and she was doing it.
The nice lady with the dog.
The nice lady with the dog. Yeah, she didn't even recognise her own granddaughter, you know. Yeah, I mean, we saw Heather's mum. Um, it wasn't quick, but you could see the going downhill, basically.
Every time anything happened, she didn't come back
Yeah,
to the same level. She always ended up slightly worse off in some way.
well, it's like my mum with the dementia, wasn't it, when she went? Yeah, it's a nasty thing. But you know, Canada, other countries have got assisted dying in place now because Heather's mum had given up quite a while before she went. She'd said her goodbyes, she'd had her life, and she was ready to go, and they just wouldn't let her go. To the point there was a DNR in place, and they were trying to resuscitate her as they rang to say that she'd gone. I took the initial call and then handed it over to Heather, and she had to actually tell them to stop. Quite how my mum went, I don't know because I wasn't there, but she went at home at my sister's where she was living. Again, she knew she was going. She'd had enough. Social services are a waste of time, Jen. Waste of time. Their main thing seems to be just going round hassling people about their kids. If their kids have been shouting or swearing, oh, we're going to take your fucking kid away because you're radicalising them. Ridiculous. Oh, sorry about that.
Which council are you under, Jen? Is it Conway or Denbighshire?
She's in her late 80s and very frail. Well, funny enough, Jen, about 4 or 5 months before my mum died, she had to have open heart surgery. Why they did it at that stage of dementia and that, I don't know. But name that tune in one. Yeah, it's called.
Okay. So it's neither. Okay. I wasn't certain.
I see you're getting your own nuclear power station on Anglesey then, Jen. According to Herr Comrade Starmer. They're going to put one of them regional power stations there, by all accounts. What's that fucking... Oh, it was me mat. I felt something run across my feet. It was my little mat I got down there. But yeah, they keep saying about this that, they're bringing in nuclear and what have you. Well, as far as I know, there's only one power station being built. And I think that's the new Sizewell one, isn't it? Most of the jobs there, Jen, will only be in the construction. They will have a maintenance crew, but most of it will be run by computer. So it'll just be a couple of bods sat in front of a couple of screens, deciding who gets the power. I think it's foreign investment that's doing it anyway, Loafer. I believe the other big one that they're building, that's Chinese financed. No, they won't, Jen. Jen, they'll bring in experts from outside. It'll just be labouring jobs. You know, I don't even know if there is any qualifications for working in the nuclear industry. Well, there obviously is, but yeah, you already said that once, Nikolai. But yeah, that's the only one I've heard of, Jen, is the one in your neck of the woods. I think some of them are earmarked for up north, where, if you think about it, they've killed all the industry up there. The steel industry, the gas, the oil, the refineries. So personally, I think they'd be a bit better off putting them in more dense residential areas. Right, I'm on the other side of the island. Yeah, I quite like Anglesey, Jen. As I say, I've fished up there a few times, and we always used to float across to the Emerald Isle from Holyhead. Others where, yeah, you go Rosslare or Belfast from Liverpool, but we always went Holyhead, Dunleary, so we went straight into Dublin. A couple of days with the rallies in Dublin, and then drive across Ireland over to the west coast to Sligo for the rest of the holiday, and then come back to Dublin a couple of days early before catching the ferry back. Originally, we used to fly because the old man never had a motor, so we used to get taxis or buses to Birmingham Airport because that was the only airport that Aer Lingus flew from at the time. I mean, I keep getting invited over there by my relatives, and I wouldn't need a passport to do it because they're in Northern Ireland, but at the moment I just really don't. I had me one holiday a year now, and that's it. And we're having a longer one this year anyway. We're going for 18 days, is it?
If you count the 2 travel days, yeah.
Yeah.
17 nights.
And we've got a brand new cottage to stay in this time. Well, it's not. It's more like a flat than a cottage now. Yeah, Dublin's all right, depending on where you go, Jen. I mean, my auntie, where we used to stay, literally, Dean's Grange, if you look it up, it's only 3 minutes from Dunleary Port. I mean, you know, some summers I used to stay in Dublin and I'd go fishing down on Dunleary Break, on the concrete breakwall there. Yeah, this is the other thing, though, for a lot of people, and I absolutely 100% agree with them. Not so much Ukrainians, but if you've come into this country as a refugee, then you should not be allowed to go back to your country for a fucking holiday and then come back in. If it's good enough for you to go back for a holiday, you can go back and bloody stay there.
You tell them.
Fucking right.
You've made a decision and you are unanimous.
I am unanimous in it. I am universal. No, but they reckon they come from these countries that are dangerous and war-torn. So you wouldn't go back there for a friggin' holiday, would you? Yeah, it is chilly, Jen. We've had the eating on now, especially with Heather working at home. Right, I'm going to call that it, boys and girls. I have managed to keep going for the 2 hours. I haven't heard from Pap lately. I will endeavour to get in touch with him over the weekend. But if he's got any issues or problem, he normally gets in touch. He does talk to Holly more than me, obviously. She's doing okay. She's just taken a step back from YouTube.
Hasn't got a date for her up yet.
No, she hasn't got the date for her up to yet, but she is still having ongoing treatment and shit. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave that there for this week. I may get in another video before Friday, but if not, main one will be next Wednesday's live again. So, as always, thank you everybody for being so respectful. Try not to get into any trouble. Stay warm. So, with that, as always, good night from me.
And good night from me.
And stay safe, stay strong, and stay free.
Oh.
Respects, people.
Take care, everybody. Catch you soon.
Press that one and that one.